Stop looking for the finish line. That quote from Goggins went through my mind today when I was running, and then also some surprise here at the end of the video, some achievement that I made. So what does he mean by stop looking for the finish line? It not only applies to running. Maybe it's something similar that Gary Vee thinks. When Gary Vee, he says, enjoy the journey. I feel like this is kind of the same thing. You gotta enjoy the journey. If you always keep looking for the finish line, you're big under pressure. Like during my run today, that really went through my mind. I was running a track where I had a big overview of where I'm going and it looked like really far away, and I thought about this like, wow, this is a really long way. And if you think about it this way, about the really long way, you're kind of close to quitting. Of course, I was never really close to quitting, but the thought of quitting is closer because you feel like it's a long way. Instead, what you do, you take just one step after another. You focus on those little steps, one after another, and then all of a sudden you're there. And that's true in many situations. Not all, but many. Just do little steps, complete little steps that get you closer to the goal, and then all of a sudden you're there. You reach the goal. Do small steps, get to the goal. And also, enjoying the journey means you gotta do something that you really enjoy. If it's something you totally dislike, but you gotta do it. It's gonna be really hard to endure, to have the persistence, to have the patience to get to that goal. It's gonna be really hard, and you're probably not gonna make it if it's not something you like. That's why I recommend, if you have big goals, it's something you really like to do. Like in the Goggins example, when it's about running, if you like running and you just focus on the process more than on the goal, that's gonna get you to the goal with way more fun. You're gonna enjoy the ride more. That's what this is all about. There's another thing to that, because if you always set goals and not steps, you will reach those goals maybe too easily, and then after reaching those goals, you're maybe disappointed. Maybe either your goals were too easy and you're not happy with reaching the goals so easily. Maybe that's what happens. Or you're there and you don't have another goals. And it doesn't feel like you imagined. Maybe your vision wasn't right, and now you're there and you reach the goal and it is totally not like what your vision was, and then you're gonna be disappointed. You may actually fall into this hole where you really don't know what to do, and you get desperate and think of new goals, and that's very stressful. So it's actually, the finish line may look good, but it's not what it should be about. That went through my mind here running this morning. And another thing that went through my mind here thinking about this quote, stop looking for the finish line, is have big goals. Don't make your goals too small. Instead, have big goals and enjoy the process, enjoy the hard work on the way to those goals and new goals, and maybe big goals. Goals that are not like a month away, but goals that are 10 years away. It's something that also Gary Vee is pretty much in favor of, saying my goal is like 20 years from now. It's not in a month from now, and then in 20 years, that's totally realistic, where we tend to have goals that are not realistic within a 1 month frame usually. People usually underestimate what is possible in 10 years and overestimate what is possible in 1 year. But anyway, have big goals. Don't think small, and then do the work. Make your dreams come true, and stop thinking about the finish line. Enjoy the process. So that's what I was thinking on my run today. Now the route I was taking had hills on it. It was ups and downs, and my goal was to be below 7 minutes per kilometer today. And mid of the run, I thought I'm kind of really fast, but there's that big part of that route that's going up and it's really high up. And so I pushed really hard. I breathed heavy. And then I made it. I was exactly on 7.0 minutes per kilometer on my run. Now, it may not sound like a lot, but as I said, it's a hilly road. Then I checked the past history and I actually found out that this is my all-time best since I started running this route and since I started using this tracking app, which is about a year ago. So within 1 year, this was my personal best, 7 minutes. But I was thinking of, don't think of the finish line. Don't think of the finish line, and have a great rest of the day. See you next time. Bye. And yeah, but before I forget, don't forget to subscribe to StorySpotlight for more amazing vlogs and stories. And click the little bell for notifications just to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.